on the side table now, so it's better for. You ever seen that video of like R. Kelly like in Ethiopia trying to get like girls to come back to America with him?
Yes.
It is the funniest shit ever. I recently seen a clip of it, and like my favorite part of the video is when he was singing like America. He did that.
Someday.
He started shaking the fucking mic.
Someday, can we role play and can you do that for me at the bar?
Pretend like I'm R. Kelly.
Yeah. I feel like that just really spice things up, make it interesting.
Question: Are you underage in the scenario? Because that's the only way I'm gonna like you.
I was gonna say, what do you want me to be? I can be a 17-year-old. I look like one.
I want you to be 17 and 11 months.
Yeah, I can make that work. That's just like next level fucked up. But it's funny.
It's funny.
So it's fine.
Not the question, but what role play scenarios? What are your top two?
Top two?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's hard because I don't know if I could take role play seriously.
You have to.
I feel like I'd have to be hammered
to pretend like you're somebody else.
Yeah.
I enjoy. In theory, I would enjoy like strangers at a bar.
I was gonna say that. That was my first pick for sure. Like, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, just like haven't seen
Wait,
you.
what's your line? I'm sitting at the bar by myself, waiting, not quote unquote, not knowing who you are. What is your pickup line?
Oh, since this is not me, don't know you. Hey, Lil Ma, you fart with that ass.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Take me out to dinner.
Sup, baby?
Bing bong.
What you want to tell Joe Byron right now?
I found out the origin of Bing Bong.
And?
So, in New York, when you are on the train and the doors are about to shut, the sound that it makes is Bing Bong. So, in New York, when you're done with the conversation, you want to end something.
Bing bong.
You just say Bing Bong.
We should start doing that. Because I can stick at your ass a lot.
Fuck you.
Bing bong.
You love me.
Only sometimes.
Get out of here.
Bing bong.
I will literally kick you out.
Make me homeless.
Yeah.
I'd find a place.
You would. I bet you would. I bet you would. You're banging for roof. A little slutty, aren't you?
I'd go sleep with the mice.
They're everywhere, baby.
It's like we're living in New York City.
Just way less. Just as dirty.
Wait, we gotta go back to the role play.
Oh yeah, role play. Strangers at a bar, obviously number one. But I feel like that's too easy. We have to challenge ourselves. Like I really want to get into like my acting role, and like really play a part.
Okay.
We should do Santa and his elf mistress.
Ew.
Guess who's Santa?
Me.
You wish. You have the balls to be
I
Santa.
want to be the elf.
Yeah, you
Okay, I watched Santa Claus today. Actually, we don't say elf. They're called little people. That's what they said in the movie. I'm like, that joke did not age well.
Did not age well. Is that the Tim Allen one?
Yeah, I watched it because I know you don't like it. I know.
I don't know why he just bought it.
But I kind of like that movie.
Why?
I watched the first one. Can we watch the second one?
No.
Why not?
Is the second one the one with Jack Frost?
No, that's the third one.
The third one with Jack Frost is significantly scarier than the rest. Like, why did he have to be so creepy?
Is that where they make like the fake Santa Clauses? Like they have the clone machine or whatever?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
I wonder if that's the second one. And the Jack Frost one is just like a whole other storyline. This is feeling like Pirates of the Caribbean for me all over again.
Bro, why are Pirates of the Caribbean so fucking long? I was talking to my therapist today about this. Like, yo, like we were watching that shit and I fell asleep and I woke up and there was still an hour left.
Honestly, you weren't asleep for that long though.
It felt like a fucking hour. I
mean, you
out.
probably fell asleep like 40 minutes into the movie.
No, I at least watched like an hour and a half.
No fucking way. No way. It was only 2 hours and like 20 minutes.
That movie's 3 hours. It's very Lord of the
No,
Ring
because we
esque.
stopped it at an hour and 11 minutes.
I remember that specifically.
The receipts, I got them in
All
this
right.
brain.
I'm not doubting that part.
Danger. Fix the table. Oh, God. Maybe a little more.
No, then I'm going too far. There we go.
Oh, God, that gives me anxiety. We should not have broke this table.
I mean, some soldiers gotta fall for.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a great time.
My second role play thing, idea, fantasy, whatever you want to call it, definitely like a whole like student teacher vibe. You know, being a college professor, I feel like that's just something I'd really like to play out. But with you, because it would be, 1, cheating if it wasn't you. 2, inappropriate if it was actually my student.
Yeah. What about like swimmer lifeguard kind of vibe? Like, oh, you saved me from drowning because you know I can't swim.
How did you know that's what I was laughing about?
Because every time I bring up anything to do with water, you're like immediately like, oh, this nigga can't swim.
I grew up on a lake. Like, that's just so wild to me.
That I can't fucking swim.
Yes.
I'm taller.
And it does not matter.
Yes, it does. When you're fucking
No.
5'8" in like middle school, like
I failed level 4 swimming twice, just so you know.
the fact that they teach swimming in your school is ridiculous.
Wasn't in my school. I took summer swimming lessons.
Summer swimming lessons?
Yeah. Careful of that table, baby.
White people shit.
Yeah, and also I think it's like a Midwest thing. What else do we have to fucking do?
In the winter?
But go in the summer. But go to the
I
pool.
thought swimming was a winter.
No, you literally repeated me saying summer swimming lessons.
Yes.
Like, what else is there to go to do besides go to the pool?
We always went to the pool in the neighborhood. Never cared to learn how to swim.
Well,
I don't even think Brandon can swim.
We should ask him. We should honestly survey your entire family. I'd like to know. I'll teach all of them how to swim. I will. I'll do that. I will take on that task.
It's as an adult, I feel like it's very hard to learn new things.
Somebody get me a whistle.
I thought you were gonna go whip. I was gonna say wait.
Okay,
Oh.
no, a whistle.
Fuck
But
it.
the whip would have been funnier.
It would have been hilarious.
It would have been funnier.
I think this is a great time to introduce the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast you know and love every week called I'm Not a Fuckboy. I am your host, Trey Motherfucking Smooth, aka Mr. Grower, Not a Shower, Mr. Massage Your Bitch Down with some essential oils.
Lies.
Not that bitch. Mr. Terrible Towel himself, Mr. Do Not Step on My Yeezys. That will really piss me off. And across from me, or next to me, I have my lovely. You know what? I'm gonna challenge you. Come up with your own AKAs.
My own AKAs.
Introduce yourself and then give your AKAs.
All right. Well, I am Trey's lovely, beautiful, gorgeous, any other word he'd ever use to describe me. Always, bitch ass girlfriend, Jade. You can follow me on Instagram at ... I had you fooled.
Like
If you
everybody
really
doesn't-
want to know, you can find me on Trey's Instagram.
You're not special. Everybody knows who the fuck you are.
AKA the smartest bitch alive, AKA the best and baddest bitch Trey will ever be with.
Lies.
Don't even say that. AKA Pillow Princess.
Very much so. Very accurate. I do all the work.
Don't even. 60-40, 60-40.
60-40 my ass.
AKA the best guest to ever be on this podcast.
Debatable.
Not at all.
Debatable. I had the Ghost of Christmas Past. Blew you out of the way.
I can be that too.
Yes.
Honestly, let's role play that.
Ghost of Christmas Past.
I will be past, present, and future. Got it? On it.
Can I be obviously I'm Scrooge at that point.
Yep, you are.
Bah,
And I will
this
still
dick.
be a pillow princess.
Can it be the title be Bah Humbug This Dick?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to support the podcast, make sure you go on Instagram and YouTube at I'm Not a Fuckboy Podcast. or you can follow me, and it'll lead you to the podcast. If not, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Usually, I like to open the podcast with a question that provokes the guest and the audience, so you guys can think at home and stuff like that. My question of the episode is: would you rather give 90% of the blowjob or the last 10% of the blowjob?
Ooh. That's a good question. You can't answer this question. You can.
I can.
But I feel like the answer is less valid.
It's very less valid, but I'm give you my take on it regardless. So, but I really like, because like, go ahead. I don't want to spoil it.
No, I want to know what you have to say. Because I already have an answer.
If you have an answer, answer, so I can give you my point.
I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Is the last 10% post-coochie?
No. So it is strictly, there's no insertion whatsoever. Only thing is happening is just straight BJ.
Last 10% then.
Last 10%?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense for you.
You can't expose me like that.
No one knows what we're talking.
Okay. I hope your mom does not listen to this.
She does frequently.
Oh no.
She's learning a lot.
At least she thinks I'm pretty.
Hey, mama. I'm gonna go 90.
Really? I need your justification.
Specifically because I don't want the end result. Nothing about that seems advantageous for me as a person. Like, I don't like the consistency of ranch. Definitely not gonna go for cum. Like, that's just like.
Well, it's different. Honestly, I'm gonna make a bold statement. I'm gonna make a very bold statement right now. Especially anyone that knows me well knows that I absolutely love ranch.
Oh, you're not about to.
Depending on the partner.
Really?
Yeah. It's chef's kiss. Honestly, great. Depending on the partner, depending on the diet, depending on the mood that I am in, I would almost put it at a higher level than ranch. Would I dunk my chicken nuggets in it? No.
Is it a sauce if you really can't dunk anything in it?
I'm not considering cum a sauce.
Yeah, well,
but if you make it a comparison to ranch, which one I'd rather have squirted into my mouth?
Oh, gross.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God.
You're welcome for that.
Title of the podcast is Cum Better Than Ranch. Interesting.
But just because you have the last 10% doesn't mean that you have to swallow.
But it has to go somewhere.
Yeah, and?
I don't want it anywhere near me. I don't.
Really?
I barely like to clean it up when I masturbate.
Are you a tube sock guy?
No, paper towel. That's why I always keep paper towels in my room.
Scratchy. You're kidding. That's disgusting.
Guess how many paper towels I use?
I don't want to know. I could have guessed that. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah. If anyone wanted to know, he did say 4.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Your mom's gonna listen to this.
My mom has heard worse.
Oh, God, it gives me the ick a little bit.
Have you heard the shit that me and Danny used to talk about on this motherfucker?
Yes, I was a religious, avid listener.
It was bad.
And I hated my life as not your girlfriend listening to this shit.
Did you ever think some of the shit was about you? Did you know some of the shit was about you?
Honestly, no.
Good. That's how I wanted it to be. I used to mix in like certain situations that only me and Danny knew, and we would like give each other looks because we weren't recording. That like he knew all the situations, but I would like mix in shit like to confuse people.
Did you ever give me a nickname before we dated? Like long, long ago?
Oh.
Because wasn't Danny's nickname Phoenix?
Are you talking about his girlfriend? I don't even know. Yeah, her nickname's Phoenix. Ooh, I can't remember your nickname.
I think I had one.
You remember what it was?
No. Because I never really knew if you were talking about me or not because you were a little fuckboy.
I still am.
Shut the fuck up. No, you're not.
No.
You are domesticated AF.
I am very much rehabilitated.
You're welcome.
I'm out of these streets. Don't say you're welcome. I did this for you, nigga.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I can't remember your nickname at all. There was a lot.
I know. God. I recall.
That makes you sound so bad.
Yes. Well, it is.
Whatever. Fucking no. How have you been? I feel like we talk every day, but like I always like to do a check-in with my guests, make sure like physically, emotionally, spiritually check in on how they're doing. And I really don't, as your boyfriend, I really don't ask you how you're doing.
This is correct.
So.
But mostly because I tell you even when it's unwarranted. You get to know no matter what.
Yeah, do I? Sometimes, like, I think in our relationship, you don't. And maybe this is my own trust issue. I don't believe you half the time.
Well, I do be not necessarily covering it up, but like, you know, we were just watching Pirates of the Caribbean. You got this like Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann, like it's my burden to carry bullshit. If you guys haven't recently watched Pirates of the Caribbean, you need to, because I remembered zero of any of the storylines. And it's great. It's like watching it for the first time because I just didn't even remember which characters were which.
Hot take. Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean. I am Caribbean, so I should probably say Caribbean. Is shittier than.
Is what?
Shittier.
Shittier?
I'm drunk. Is shittier than Twilight.
Oh, 100%. But you're also talking to a Twilight girl, so.
You are. And I hate Twilight.
Okay,
so
but like
bad.
Twilight, movie-wise, not made well. Like Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2, they definitely had a much larger budget. Like those movies were made well.
I remember watching that shit in the theater, and like when the flashback scene happened, at the end, everybody was like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?"
I literally just made my friend Nat watch that for the first time ever. She had never seen Breaking Dawn Part 2, and I was like, bruh, you were in for the biggest plot twist. And any like minor thing that would happen, she'd look at me and be like, is that it? And I was like, no. And then as soon as the fight scene started, I did not say a fucking peep. I was like, this bitch about to shit her pants because she does not see this coming at all. She also didn't read the books. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you really missing out. But that's like one of the only series, that and The Hunger Games, that I read the books before I watched the movies. Don't even put some respect on fucking Hunger Games. Don't even. Anyway, back to my answer. I'm doing well.
Oh my god. This is going to be a rough episode.
No, I'm doing well. You asked me how I was doing. I wanted to circle back because I am doing great. I mean, obviously, I'm on break, so it's nice. Like, I think this is going to be the perk of being in school, quote unquote, forever, of like not only hopefully going to get my PhD, but then also teaching forever, so that I'll always get Christmas break. So I always have, you know, like that 3 weeks of chill time, even though I still did work today. It didn't feel like doing work because
you did a lot of work.
I didn't like, you know, go to work. Yeah.
You've done a lot of work the past couple of week.
Yeah. I mean, like finishing up finals and grading everything, getting all that shit done. Like, for those of you that don't know, I am an instructor at South Dakota State. It's a grand old time.
Air out all your business.
Kind of wild. I mean, you guys can know. You can look me up on the university page. Yeah, I'm on there. I have a great headshot, I will say.
My headshot for Walzer is trash.
I am not surprised. I cannot wait to see your driver's license picture.
I look like, not even like it's very stereotypical to say like it's a mugshot, but I literally look like I just murdered 2 people, and I'm still not satisfied.
Okay, but your RBF is insane.
But she was being a bitch, and I was so angry at the time because I waited like fucking 4 hours to take a 5-minute process. It literally took her 5 minutes to take my money, verify my address, make sure all the information was correct, and then take my picture. And that was it. Literally took me 5 minutes. My appointment was at 10:15. I didn't get out of there till 1:30.
I recall.
I was so angry.
I was driving home the entire time. For me to drive back to South Dakota is the entire time that you were at the DMV.
I hate the DMV so fucking much.
Last time I was at the DMV, they were very nice to me. Like, well, because I had lost my ID right after I turned 21. Mm-hmm. I used my passport for like 8 months. Way too long. A very long time. Like, I went through my college's homecoming with a passport. And it was also... Would that have been my senior? Yeah, that would have been my senior year in college. So I went fucking hard because it was the only. We called it Hobo Day. It was the only Hobo Day that I was 21, that I was of age. So I went hard in the paint. Didn't have a fucking ID, and I was that bitch at the bar that was like, I gotta make sure I have my passport before we migrate anywhere, because I didn't have my ID and I was too lazy to go get it. And then as soon as I went back to the DMV and I got it, it took me like 20 minutes because South Dakota also has same day printing for their driver's license.
I wish.
It takes literally 30 seconds after you take the picture for you to get your license.
That would be so amazing.
It was great. And it was so cute because I took my picture and like I have never had a good experience at the DMV or like nice employees or anything. I took my picture. Nice thing about South Dakota is that they let you smile in your picture as well. So I smiled. And there was this cute old guy working at the DMV and he was like, oh, not that this matters, but your smile looks great. I was like, oh, thank you, old man. Like, it made my day. Honestly, it probably made my, like, month.
He was trying to fuck.
He was probably, like, 75.
Trying to fuck. Hey, 75.
Disgusting.
Pop 2 Viagra.
What is your, like, oldest age cutoff? Could not have sex with someone older than this age?
50.
50?
50.
Feel like a female 50 is much different than a male 50.
100%. And I'm saying 50 because, like, most of the bitches I want to fuck now are younger than 50. Like, what's her face? Megan Good, Gabrielle Union, what's her face? Nia Long. I think Nia Long might be older than 50, but she's still fine as fuck. Nancy Reagan.
Oh, so we going to corpses now. Got it.
Necrophilia.
How old is Denzel?
Ooh, 60s.
That's my cutoff.
Really?
Oh my god, yes.
Have you seen Denzel when he just has like the mustache, like no goatee, just the mustache? Like,
and it's sexy.
Still?
Yes.
Weird.
I know.
Weird.
I know. But honestly, if I had to pick a version of Denzel, I'd pick like Deja Vu Denzel.
I do love Deja Vu, one of my favorite Denzel movies. If I had to fuck Denzel in a movie, it would probably be John Q.
Also a great one.
Not sexy, but a very attainable sexy.
I would also say Man on Fire, also a very sexy version of Denzel.
Which, honestly, isn't Man on Fire just a carbon copy of Deja Vu?
No.
What's the plot of Man on Fire?
He gets hired as a bodyguard for this white family that lives in Mexico, and their daughter goes to a private school, so he gets hired as a bodyguard for the daughter, whose other bodyguard, I believe, was killed by the cartel. And his...
Didn't the bitch get kidnapped?
Yeah, so she got kidnapped, like, on purpose by the dad. He, like, set up this fake kidnapping so that he can make a bunch of money. And then the kidnapping went wrong, and Denzel, like, went on this whole thing to, like, go find her. Finally finds her, and he has to trade himself in to get her back so she can go back to her mother. And then it ends with literally them, like, murdering him. It's literally... There are a lot of movies that I, like, cried at. I am a crier. It's fine. But I sobbed as hard as I sobbed when I watched The Fault in Our Stars when they killed Denzel in that movie. Like, I couldn't believe it because he was just this, like, protector. And Dakota Fanning, who was a child at the time, wasn't even in, like, 90% of the fucking movie. And he was like, that bitch is fucking ride or die from very minuscule interactions. Yeah. And he was like, he was ready to put his life on the line for this little girl. And I was like, no, he has to die.
Not to throw on a tangent, I hated the fact that Hollywood tried to make Dakota Fanning like that bitch.
I would agree. You're not. Yeah.
Is a terrible actress.
And I honest opinion, she ugly as fuck.
Just butt ass ugly. She looked like somebody stomped her out and they tried to piece it back together.
She kind of looks like a mouse.
She looks like especially younger, very mousy
Baby
bitch.
Dakota Fanning was a mouse.
Mousy
I think
ass
it was
bitch.
like the super platinum blonde hair mixed with like the very, very fair skin.
She was
and
pale.
The mousy nose.
Be accurate. Bitch is mostly ghostly.
Very translucent, for sure.
Just like see-through as a motherfucker. She looks like a piece of loose leaf paper. Like, she is just so fucking white.
A piece of loose leaf paper.
And I...
Wait. When was the last time that you bought loose leaf paper? I gotta
know. Never. Somebody's always bought loose leaf paper for me. I've never went to the store and be like, damn, you know what I need? Loose leaf
paper. College ruled only. Wide rule, get out of here with that shit. Give me that college rule loose leaf paper.
I remember
in a fucking binder.
I remember one year. I think I was way too old. I copped a sale like after school starts sale, which all the school supplies are just like dirt fucking cheap. I bought like a bunch of fucking journals, like those composition notebooks, because my therapist told me like to journal my feelings and all that shit.
Did you do it?
Fuck no. I'm not good at like remembering what my like. As soon as therapy's over, like after that day, I don't remember shit.
That's why when I'm here and you do therapy, like I want to give you that moment to like decompress. Like you should take a moment just in your notes app because writing it down feels hetero AF. But just like write it down in your notes app. Like just have a therapy note of like this is what I talked about today.
But
this is what I should remember.
My therapy just feels like just another conversation half of the time. So I'm just like, I'm not in like it's not like a epiphany. Like those aha moments, I usually remember. But it's like, hey, we should try to do this next time. I'm like, okay, whatever you say. And then as soon as I'm done, just out one ear, out
in one ear, out the other. Yeah.
Gone. It's just like, damn. What the fuck are you
That's
supposed
why
to do?
you should write it down.
But I don't
Even if it doesn't feel like an aha epiphany moment, sometime it could be. So like if you wrote it down and looked at it, like even just like you have therapy on Thursday, you look at it on Monday. Like,
Shawty, I know the system is flawed. I know that. Am I going to remember to do that? No. I know myself so well.
I'm gonna start bugging you about it.
Hey, did you write it down? And we're like, no, I did not. Do you want to fight?
Yes, I do. Fist out.
I would box you the fuck up.
I don't know. I feel like I would put up a good fight. I don't think I would win. You had to give me credit. I think I'd put up a good fight.
No.
Yeah.
One solid good hit, square to the liver, you're done.
I would just touch your butthole and I'd win.
No, you wouldn't. It would just piss me off even more.
I don't know. I think I'd put up a good fight.
I would love to see you get into a fight.
I have been in a fight. I should have had a V8 to some bitch one time. And I feel like just the level of disrespect.
You seem like a very disrespectful bitch. Like, you were just like, I am... Especially when you're inebriated. You are already just like a mouthy motherfucker. Like, just normal. Like,
Is this true?
Say whatever the fuck you want. Like, even though you have a filter, and then somehow you're like...
I actively ignore it.
You laugh at it and then say it. Like, you're like, oh, shit, this is fucked up. But let me say it anyways.
Most of the time you make me say the fucked up things that I think because you're like, what did you say?
Because, like, I hate when people are like, oh, no, I can't say it. Like, nigga, you already acknowledged the fact that you had something. Might as well fucking say it.
Yeah, and usually it's funny.
Yeah, usually. Sometimes it's very hurtful.
Yeah, okay. Like 90% of the shit that comes out of your mouth.
I am not mean to you? I hate this fucking narrative that you've painted that I'm just like so mean.
You're not mean to me.
I know. I'm very nice, and I say like very funny things that just doesn't seem funny because it's about you.
You just don't stick the landing sometimes.
I stick the landing all the time.
Can you say that about other bitches? Because then I'd laugh.
Yes, that's the only reason you don't laugh is because it's about you. If it was about anybody else, you would think it was the funniest thing ever.
Exactly.
Which just means it's funny.
No.
It just means it's funny.
This is going to be such a shit show of an episode. Should we get into the meat and potatoes?
What time? We got time. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. We'll call it early. So I was on TikTok and when was this? It was like Monday, Tuesday. It's so old. We're so outdated. But
babe, it's Thursday.
Yeah, we're still like the internet moves fast. You gotta get away with it or get lost, or you'll get lost in the sauce. And no one wants to be lost in the sauce.
I'm always lost in the sauce.
Gucci Man would be.
Speaking of, I think we both need more drinks.
You want to make drinks? While
you explain.
So.
Wait, what do you want?
I have no idea what I want.
Okay,
Surprise me.
I'll just make some shit.
Make some shit. Don't make it too strong. I want to be coherent enough to play video games off of this. So.
Oh my god.
I don't care. It's my podcast. I can do whatever I want. One day this week, early as fuck. I don't know what day it was. I was on TikTok and I was seeing this like tweet. Some Tommy Lauren ass bitch from Fox News or.
No, we're doing the bracket.
Are we doing the bracket?
Yeah.
Oh, we are doing the bracket. Okay.
First.
All right, let's fucking. We're already here. Some Tommy Lauren ass bitch tried to compare Nancy Reagan to Madonna. So she said at 64, which Madonna, I think it was Madonna's birthday. So whenever Madonna's birthday was, she had just turned 64. And she posted some pics of her scantily clad, which Madonna looks like a fucking lizard going through its molting stage. She's just so fucking gross. I hate to look at Madonna. Like, if Madonna tried to suck my dick, I would not even remotely, like, I wouldn't fuck her with somebody else's penis. If I really tried. Like, even if I didn't have a penis, and you gave me a strap on and was like, yo, I'll give you $1 million if you fuck Madonna right now, I would not do it. I say all that to say, some fucking Fox News ass bitch compared Madonna to Nancy Reagan, was just like, Nancy Reagan was classy at 64, Madonna trashy at 64, all that bullshit. And niggas promptly, like, just immediately reminded her, like, Nancy Reagan was known as the throat goat. Like, she would suck everybody's dick in office. Like, she was, because Nancy Reagan was an actress before she became the first lady, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how her and Reagan met.
Yeah, because he was like a actor, because he was just so sought after, because he was a middle-aged white man who was mediocre.
Vibes.
Yeah, very mediocre white man. So they met on set, and apparently she just gave the best BJs ever. Which I think the funniest thing about that thread is, like, they coined the phrase trickle-down economics, which is I want to say this is like top 5 Twitter moments for me.
Really?
It was so fucking funny. And I'm never really on Twitter like that. I think number one for me for Twitter moments, have you ever seen, I think I made you read them. I made somebody read the fucking Zola story.
Yes, that was me.
Yes. I love, they turned that shit into a movie. Still haven't watched it, but I need to. Zola was number one for me because I was so captivated with that shit. Number 2, finding out that fucking 21 Savage was British and all the memes that came out after that, so fucking funny. Damn, I can't even think of the rest.
I feel like I use Twitter in a dramatically different way.
Yeah, Twitter for me, you get your information from Twitter.
No. I'm very much like Twitter one-hit wonders. Like, that is my shit. Like, something that'll give me a good chuckle that maybe I'll send to someone, but like, I don't really have a lot of memorable Twitter moments.
Really?
No.
There's moments in history and Twitter just in general that just broke the internet.
For sure. And I mean, I know about them and like, yes, I think they're funny, but that's not what I go on Twitter for.
That's legitimately the entire purpose of Twitter for me.
I definitely used to have very much so like informational Twitter, but that's because I was a Twitter troll, so that was kind of my job.
Yeah, gross.
But I deleted that Twitter long ago because I had my full name in it, and I did not want employers finding out that I was a Twitter troll, so I deleted that shit. Now I have Hot Girl Jad.
Gross.
Hilarious.
Gross.
Do you want to know what like my Twitter name is that like pops up? Like not my @ It's Slim JD.
Oh, you did tell me that. That's fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
My basic Twitter name is just my handle.
I think it's so funny that we do not follow each other on Twitter and we are not Facebook friends.
Because I use both of those non-exclusively. Like I'm never on. If I'm on anything, I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok.
And you're barely on Instagram.
Yeah, I took a break from. I was like deep into Instagram for like years, where it was so bad, and now like I had to cut myself off of it. Now I'm barely on Instagram. TikTok has definitely taken over my life.
Has been.
I am addicted.
Well, I deleted TikTok for a very long time.
I don't know why.
Well, I was writing a thesis.
Oh, yeah,
so
you had to.
I didn't really have time to also be spending 6 hours a day on TikTok.
It's so easy, though.
But it's literally the day I graduated with my master's, I said, TikTok. I downloaded that shit while I was at the bar. I was still at the bar and I downloaded TikTok, and I got home drunk as fuck, having to move out of my house the next day, leave Brookings, leave my home base of 6 years. And you know what I did? I got home drunk as shit and I watched TikTok for like 3 hours and I had to rebuild my fucking algorithm. That shit was annoying. But, you know, it was funny. And it was way better than Instagram Reels, which is immediately what I started doing after I deleted TikTok.
Every time I see an Instagram Reel, I'm like, this is poor. Like, I get like a very like, this is... Correct. I feel like I'm in the ghetto. Is white people love to say about everything, bro. Like there's this I'm gonna dive into something that's very...
I was gonna say that's a whole nother conversation. Are we gonna open that can of worms?
Very deep. There is this gay dude at my job, very homosexual. His name is Jacob. I don't give a fuck. I'm blasting his shit. I'm not giving his like last name, so we're cool. Jacob is one of those privileged ass white dudes who thinks being gay is the same as being black. He has absolutely said this to me. He's like, well, I understand what it's like to be discriminated against because I am gay. Which you have some validation in that, but also you are a white man that also acts like a black woman. No room to talk.
0 out of 10.
I hate those people.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's really hard. Remember that day that we were talking about, like, the tiers of discrimination?
Yes.
You know, we never really talked about, like, where... Sexuality kind of flows within there. Because, like, a white man, even though they are gay, is still a white man. I feel like it's kind of the same as, like, white passing for people of color.
True.
Like, you can act not gay and not be discriminated against. Yes, it may be uncomfortable. You shouldn't have to do that. But because you have the option, I feel like you cannot put yourself in the same rank as, like, a black man, but not more importantly, but even worse, like a black woman.
100%, which is A black woman is the most discriminated, most disrespectful human being on this planet.
100%.
And the fact that you don't see how you contribute to that,
narrative, and to like that continuous discrimination.
Why does every gay white man think they can, as soon as they turn, like, or not even turn gay, but as soon as they like
come
out, they have to be a black woman?
Yeah.
And it's just like everybody wants to be black in some form or fashion.
And I think
a way.
it's because they have the space, because they are, especially like the specific type of white gay man that we are talking about. I think that they have this space to be, you know, the stereotypical black woman of like being loud, being assertive, you know, saying what you want to say when you want to say it. They have the space to be able to do that because they are still a white man.
Yes. Because there's nothing worse in a white person's like space or to harm them than a black woman speaking their mind. Because I think especially in the workforce, like, it's just so discriminatory towards black women. Like, you have to have your hair a certain way, you have to speak a certain way, you can't be yourself, like you can't speak with any kind of vernacular at all. Like, you have to be as white as fucking possible, and that just hurts. Like now at my job, like I understand the privilege that I have by just being a male,
especially in sales.
Like, everybody like automatically assumes I know what the fuck I'm doing because I am especially in car sales. Like, I'm a man, I must know about cars. And I literally sit customers down. Bro, you're going to know more about this car than I do. Like, you're going to teach me about this. Mm-hmm. But what I am going to do is sell you this fucking car.
For sure.
And they look at me with such a confusion on their face. And then it fills them with glee that they can teach me about some shit. Because when they step into that role, it's stroking their ego. Like, mm-hmm. Oh, let me educate this black boy mm-hmm. about something he has no idea about. When in all actuality, I'm schooling you, and you're about to make me some goddamn money, bro.
Well, and I think the hardest thing, especially like going back to black women, is what is hard for me to conceptualize, like, as someone who is outspoken, who is loud, who is assertive. Like, it is almost this like secondary aspect of like shame that comes because it's white guilt, essentially. There's really no other way to say it, of like, I'm allowed to be this person and be loud and be assertive, even though there are still people out there, especially like white men, that think I'm a bitch because I am the way that I am. But also, I have the space to be able to do that. Like, it is going to benefit me more in the workplace because I am loud and I am assertive and I am confident. Whereas you take the same personality and you give it to a black woman, they are not going to have the same privileges as I do. And I think that that's so hard. And especially like looking into future, what I want to do, who I want to be, and being a researcher, especially someone of communication, which is a big denominator when it comes to discrimination in the workplace. Mm-hmm. It's really important to me to be able to like add to this narrative of like looking past these privileges and this white guilt of like all women should have the same voice no matter what. And so I think it's really difficult to overcome that, and also, you know the obstacles that I've had to overcome, and know that those are 10 times greater for black women. Like, that, it really blows my mind, especially someone that's from rural South Dakota that never really had to experience that. And I just had to experience that alone, of being the loud, assertive white woman, because I never had anyone else around me that was like that. And so it's really interesting now, kind of spreading my wings, growing up, gaining some more life experiences, and to be like, fuck, even in this aspect, I am still more privileged than others.
Yes. I think, to kind of not piggyback, but also just like kind of tear a slice off, I want a hard definition of the two different types of white women. Or there's multiple types, but like with the one in this aspect I'm talking about, there's like with the loud, assertive, like kind of like big personality that you kind of are. Mm-hmm. You've never tried to pretend to be something that you're not, and then you have these white women who want to be black so fucking bad, want to be a black woman, and it's loud and assertive, and like honestly, like that. When I think of ghetto, that's what I think of. Mm-hmm. The hot Cheeto white girl, like
yes. But you know what's wild is that's normally like the
Marylands.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even go that far. I would say it's like the white women that put like the Kardashians and the Jenners on a pedestal.
Oh, 100%.
Those are the women that are like, I am going to be this big personality. I'm going to make sure that my presence is known. And I think that's the biggest difference is like someone whose presence is known just because that's who they are, and someone who like craves that attention and like wants it and is intentional about trying to be loud and be assertive and be the center of attention because they want that and not because that's what their energy attracts.
Yeah, I think you put it very well. I think for me the difference is solely ignorance.
100%.
You do not understand the narrative that you're driving. You don't understand the weight of what you are carrying. You are just seeing something and mimicking it, and you have no consequences for that because everybody just is going to be like, well, there's some people who are going to check you, but you're so delusional, you're so entitled that you think that this is like normal. This is just who you are. This is the personality that you have adopted. That like there is like girls in my like high school that I grew up with, fucking full on big ass bamboo hoop earrings, like long acrylics, like fucking Team Jordans, Nike Tech fucking fits, talking about why you, it is too damn early. It's just like it blows my fucking mind. Like, yo, shorty, what are you doing? Like, who are you? You're first off, your name is Brittany. There's no wider name.
I love that you go with Brittany.
There's no, honestly, I think everybody says like Emily, fucking Amber, fucking Elizabeth is the whitest names ever. Mm-hmm. Give me a good Brittany, whitest person ever.
White for sure.
White. There's a couple black Britneys, but they're mostly known as Black Brittany.
Or Brie.
Brie,
for sure. They will not go.
Bye, Brittany.
Bye, Brittany. No, I think that it's really interesting to like talk about this perspective, especially like female personalities and white women, especially like when you talk about white people not having culture.
Very true.
I think it comes down to more than anything, like white women not having culture. Like, I mean, you got white men that have
fishing, hunting,
their casual
NASCAR,
white men things, wrestling,
mowing grass,
mowing the lawn,
wrestling, yes,
for sure. Baseball, even though, you know, you kind of have a mix, but
the dullest thing ever.
But I really think that a lot of that, like,
golf.
Not to say that baseball is not a diverse sport, but I think people that are fans of baseball are white middle-aged men.
Which is super funny. Baseball is America's pastime, ruled by Hispanic men. Black men,
and let's not forget about the women. A League of Their Own is my favorite sport movie, and they carried baseball on their fucking backs.
Giving a fuck about women in baseball.
They carried that sport on their backs during World War II, and I am not. It's not up for discussion. It's not fiction. It's real. There's a whole ass Hall of Fame for them.
Okay, and
They deserve their recognition, even though
Always trying to be a feminist.
I would say probably 90% of them were white, which is unfortunate.
90, more like 99.9. There's probably one nigga.
This
in
was
there.
World War II.
There's one shorty.
This was World War II in America, so.
It's very interesting to talk about dynamics and different like personality traits within cultural bias and cultural differences, because I think you're right. Like, white women have no culture. White women's culture is directly stolen from everybody else's. Like, oh, you know what bugs me is like when white girls are like, oh, like they say I have no culture. Wait till they find out my family's from Spain. Bitch, you still white.
100%.
Just because you're from Spain does not mean you're Spanish. You speak Spanish. That's your nationality.
You might not even speak Spanish at that point.
100%
You
might
are
not.
several generations removed from Spain.
I think people forget nationality, race, and ethnicity is two different things.
100%, because ethnicity is your culture.
Yes. And nationality is just where you're born.
Honestly, if we're talking about white women culture, I think the only culture that white women have is the white women that are Catholics.
White Catholics are
They
a
do be
movement.
having their own culture.
They love a good hot dish, love a little casserole.
They
White
do
guilt.
love religious trauma.
The Catholic guilt is so strong.
Oh my gosh, religious trauma is like next level. Whole nother, we could dedicate a whole ass podcast talking about religious trauma.
Next episode. Definitely next episode.
But yeah, I think that there is really, this tough line when it comes to white women and what their identities are and how they define that, because essentially they cannot. And the only thing that they really have in common with other women is that they can also be discriminated in the workplace simply because they have babies.
True. I'm never going to dismiss the fact that it's hard to be a woman. Never going to say women do not have it hard, especially in the workplace, in society. You are usually in a lower role. But I think when it comes to white women, that's why I have a huge problem with the feminist movement, because it's always white women who are trying to forsake their privilege and be like, oh, I'm not privileged, I'm still a woman, like, let me.
For sure. No, 100%.
But we'll go to a role where they are still privileged. Like, you want to be down with the cause, but you're still up in like Upper West Side, drinking your Starbucks with your infinity scarf, talking to other white moms.
You're just fully citing the era of 2013.
Bro, because that's the worst kind of white women. Ugh. If I'm gonna go on a rant, I think tanning salons should be illegal.
Interesting.
That is blackfishing to a T.
Yes, I would agree. I'm just lucky because even though I have fake baked in the past, I just have very fair skin, and it does not matter how much I tan. I cannot get tan. But a lot of it, especially like living in the upper Midwest and missing out on a lot of vitamin D and not having that like serotonin and that vitamin in my body, like a lot of times that even just the warmth of it was enough to, make a bitch happy sometimes. But also, I'd rather be sad than have skin cancer. So I've really given that up. I will put on some fake tan if I have an event to go to and my legs are so translucent that you can see the veins in them. But I will never step foot in a tanning bed ever again.
I will be very blunt and honest with you. If that was a regular thing that you did, first off, would never be remotely attracted to you. If you just picked that up like randomly in our relationship, I would easily break up with you.
I'm going to go to the tanning salon tomorrow.
Be good. Plan on being single the next one. As soon as you step out, plan on being single.
No, I think that, kind of circling back to white women not having culture, like you have different hairstyles. You have tanning beds. You have Brazilian butt lifts. You have lip filler. Like, you have all these things. And what culture are they trying to appropriate?
You want to look like a black woman.
Yes, 100%. You want to look like a black woman, but you want to have the perks of being
white.
A white woman. So
my favorite quote, everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga. And it's so fucking true. Like, oh, I can talk about this for fucking hours. Like,
I know. I feel like we also have this conversation often.
Daily,
just like,
almost. Almost daily.
I feel like that's just not necessarily the struggle, but maybe even the perk of being in an interracial relationship. Like, I think that we both get to learn from each other's experiences, but also I'm very thankful that I have the perspectives that I do, because we wouldn't be together if I didn't.
If you were ever to put me in a situation where I had to be in a racial conflict, even if it was with your family, if it's with strangers, and you do not protect me in a situation like that, done.
I mean, we've already talked about marriage and the family that I simply wouldn't invite. I mean, I would invite them, but I guarantee you they wouldn't come, but they would give us money, so that would be a perk.
Yep.
But no, I definitely think that is something, especially with like any interracial couple, like something that you need to prioritize. Like, your partner becomes your family, and especially since we live in the Midwest, frankly, there are just a lot of racist people that live here.
Especially Minnesota now. Like, Minnesota has gone super fucking bad, especially since Trump, George Floyd,
Trump. I mean, rural Minnesota has always been super red. Like, they have petitioned to even become part of South Dakota and North Dakota before. Like, I think it's always been a thing. I just think it's become more apparent of like, haha, funny puns of the black and white difference between the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and rural Minnesota areas of, you know, what the values are here. And also me being from South Dakota and also being from a very white family. Like, my grandma threw a fit because my cousin at one point was dating someone from the Middle East. Like, what? How does that even
they're all
become a
terrorists,
thing?
right?
I mean, they weren't even from like
Taliban.
The Middle East. They were from like
Al Qaeda.
the European part of the Middle East. Like,
Bosnia?
well, that's Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yes, around that same area. I mean, geography, not my strong suit.
Not at all.
It started with a Z. I do remember that.
Uzbekistan.
Okay, we'll go with that. But yeah, no, I think that like protecting your partner at all costs should be your number one priority, and definitely is. This became a very long tangent. I don't know if anyone's gonna actually want to make it through this podcast.
Probably not.
But if they did, thanks for listening to our little rants.
Kudos.
Shout out to some whiskey and vodka for this whole thing.
Oh, shout out to Rocamp. We always give Rocamp a shout out. Say hi to Rocamp.
Hi.
Rocamp's the fucking dog. If you are listening to this, thank you for making it to the end of the podcast. We gotta go because A, I gotta pee. C, I gotta pee. B,
I also have to pee.
I'm fucking drunk.
Are you?
A little
No.
A little tips. I'm slurring. If you want to support the podcast, make sure you go on Instagram and YouTube at I'm Not a Fuckboy Podcast. Just type it in. You should be able to find us in the search bar. We're one of the, it's not a lot, but top 90 searched.
Look at you, baby.
Which is not a lot, but
there are a lot of anybody with a microphone, even the mini microphones now can make a podcast. So
True.
I think that is still an accomplishment.
True. I should not downplay my accomplishments.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Shout out to Spotify. They always supported us. Fuck Apple Music. Fuck Steve Jobs. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck Facebook. All them hoes. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you want to support me personally, you can follow me on Instagram at TraceMove84. TraceMove is spelled TraysMoove84. That is a mouthful, just like my penis will be a mouthful in your mouth. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. That's pretty big.
Last 10%. Don't forget.
Yeah, true.
If you want to support me, you can follow me on Instagram at Jade with an extra E Larson, because my middle name is Elizabeth, JADEELARSON. Don't forget, I am the best and the baddest of girls Trey will ever get. So follow me just in case we ever break up.
Oh, we are going to break up. Divorce.